Welcome back to my channel, you guys. And for all my newcomers, my name is Stina. I am a commercial photographer right here in Miami, Florida. And of course, I have my girl with me, Sheesh. And I'm going to let her introduce herself today.
So my name is Sheesh. I am a multifaceted artist. I am a photographer, a poet, a filmmaker. And outside of that, my serious title I would say is me doing brand strategy. And yeah,
Y'all heard that? That's a lot.
it
But
is.
I
It
didn't
is.
see. I could have introduced. Okay, so I am a dancer,
Mhm,
a choreographer, a
mhm,
creative director,
mhm,
photographer,
mhm,
videographer,
mhm.
do all of the things. Cause she coming in here trying to trump me. That's
I
crazy.
wasn't. You just asked me to introduce myself, and that was just my introduction.
Okay, so what we gonna tell these people today? What is the purpose of this video?
So the purpose of this video is us really diving into one another's shoes as visionaries, right? So as being fellow photographers and I guess you can say fellow companions throughout this professional creative space over this course of time, we create very differently. We capture very differently.
Mhm.
So the whole purpose of this is for us to do a trade-off. You know, me step into your shoes, you step into my shoes, vice versa, and create in a different perspective or through different perspective, through different equipment, through different skills, not really skill set, but a creative eye. I think that's a
Yeah,
better way of saying it.
yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, we're switching. We're switching techniques. So just to give you a little backstory, I think you guys already know that I come from the more commercial side of things, where my work is very much so clean. It's about selling either the product, the person, or a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything is pretty much like a focus. Sometimes it's based on colors, other times it's based on fashion, products, as I already mentioned. And then she's come from the journalism world, where she's more so storytelling than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you explain like your style.
Yeah, so for me, I would more so say that I'm a storyteller first. So in the photography medium, I capture through the narrative of storytelling. It generally tends to fall into the journalism aspect, but I would more so say my photography style falls more in documentary style and editorial style work because even in conceptual storytelling, I'm more so lean to the editorial style, and outside of the conceptual storytelling, it more falls into the documentary style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you already heard her mention, we are going to be switching gears. So we're going to go over, I'm going to go over pretty much everything that I have. And then along this journey, so we are doing a 3 to 4 part series,
Right.
where this episode is basically us explaining to each other's our eye, the things that we focus on, our style, how we shoot it, what's the thought process behind it, as well as like the planning that I go through when it comes to planning my shoes, and then the planning that she goes through.
Yeah.
So of course you guys will be able to get a couple of nuggets, and then if you have any questions, feel free to ask any below and we will always get to them. So I'm gonna start off by saying I have gear that's literally all Canon up. It's Canon galore. So I have 2 cameras. Right now my baby is the Canon R5. Then I have my R, which most likely I'm gonna trade off with my R5 so you can get used to that bad boy.
Okay.
And then the lenses that I have is the 24 to 70, the 24 to 105, the 50 meter, and the 70 to 200.
Okay.
So all of those lenses basically focus on everything that I focus on, which is like portrait photography, branding from product photography and whatnot. What gear do you have?
So I shoot with Fuji. Primarily when it comes to my photography work, I shoot Fujifilm XT-S10 or XT10S. Sorry. That's the camera. That's like my main bad boy right there. I typically have a 16 to 55 on it. I interchange with either a 12 millimeter manual focus, or I'll use a 35, and it just depends on what I'm shooting. But most of the time I have my 16-55, because most of the time this type of things that I'm shooting, I'm capturing movement. I'm capturing a lot of moments. A lot of it is not staged. A lot of it is sometimes street style stuff, like street photography, travel photography. So that 16-55 does me right most of the time.
Okay. So okay, so describe your approach to the way you capture, because I can already see that we are on different playing fields.
Yeah. My approach, it depends on what it is that I'm shooting. So if it's just me, now if it's me with my just storytelling hat, and, or not, I wouldn't even say storytelling hat. If it's me just trying to, run and gun with the camera, and most of the time I capture a lot of my images when I'm traveling. So, it's really for me to capture, to stamp a moment. So in that, like most of the time, like if I am to go to New York or something, I'll be documenting an interaction, a moment. Sometimes I'll be documenting history if it's in architecture, or even just the weather, the season, because those tell stories too. I tend to personify a lot of inanimate things in my storytelling. Now, if we're talking conceptual, I would build out, okay, like let's say there's something that I want to say. So like one of my works, Venetian, I really wanted to give an ode and showcase Black womanhood. And that was a shoot that I did with you. So with that particularly, I identified the things that I wanted to convey and I wanted to what I wanted to showcase in Black womanhood, right? Which was the strength, which was the femininity, which was the sensuality. And in that, from there, I started with creating the components of what hair, makeup, and wardrobe would look like. And then from there, I worked around how I want the models to be posed to convey that essence of Black womanhood. And then, we just complemented it with the scene that complemented the aesthetic, So it's two parts to that when it comes to in my process with conceptual work. It's the message itself that I want to say. And then the second part is the aesthetic that I want to go for.
Okay. Yeah. So it don't sound like that we're much different in that aspect, because I do also focus on hair, makeup, wardrobe. And I think where we differ is and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you focus on a feeling of relation. Does that make sense? Where like if somebody sees the image, they can relate to it in some sort of way. Be that they have some connection to the story that's being told, or it's an emotion that gets sprung up by just looking at the image.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay. So now I have a little understanding. So that means I will be getting into how would I approach that? Okay, how would you explain to me to approach it, being that we are about to completely switch? So I'm trying to like jump in your head.
I always try when I'm shooting conceptually, I always try to have a prompt. What is the prompt? What is the theme of the shoot? And I know I'm fulfilling the assignment. If I know throughout the progress of the session or throughout the progress of the shoot, I am making sure these shots meet the prompt or meet the theme.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So just to give you guys a little bit of what we're about to do. So yes, we're about to switch gears, but we're also going to come up with two different concepts that we're going to shoot. My concept would be pretty much commercial related of some sort. So I decided that I was going to shoot product or something in relation to product. And then she decided that she was going to shoot. You didn't tell me. What's your concept? You never said the concept that you're gonna bestow on me.
So if I'm being very honest with you, when I want to shoot, nothing about it is conceptual at all. If I'm being real with you. What I kind of want to do, I kind of want my model to really just show up and be herself.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, we are going to put her in a character. And in that character, we're going to create a sense of, we're going to create a scenic lifestyle. And in that scenic lifestyle, that is how we're going to make sure, we're going to address the assignment by making sure she's in character or stays within a character.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no concept right now.
Yeah, there's no concept. There's no concept to this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, there's no concept to it. Like, and okay, so this is another thing too. When Justina shoots, for me, it like, unless it's an assignment that's like, no, this, then I'll thoroughly like structure it out, have A to Z pinpointed bulletin. Justina's like that with all her shoots. I'm not. I'm sometimes it's like, okay, we have the model, we have the scene, we understand the vibe and how we want it to be polished. All right, everything else, we gonna run with it. Justina, her face looks like she is like not fucking with it at all.
Because why? Why are we not planning this?
Because like at the end of the day, the models that we're choosing, for me, I trust the skill set, the eye and the craft and the artistic approach of these models, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise we wouldn't be shooting them. There's the synergy there at least.
Yeah.
And trusting that the thing that I love about collaborating with other creatives is I can focus on the medium that I want to focus on and I let them be an artist.
Mm. Yeah, we approach that very differently.
Very differently.
I don't think it's very different because there are aspects within each way of approach that are similar.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the medium of which it's used is
Mm-hmm.
different.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, choosing a model and then letting the model just do their own thing,
It's a no-no.
it's a no-go.
So I would say though, for people that are watching and getting, a sense of understanding of our styles, one thing that I religiously do when I'm shooting somebody, I ask them certain particular questions before I start shooting them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even with headshots, that's with things that I'm commissioned for. I always ask them these questions so I can connect to them because most people are not professional models.
Mm-hmm.
And with people that are not professional models, I need them to not connect to the camera. I need them to be able to connect to me.
Yeah.
So in that, always when I start my session, I always ask them, specifically if it's for something I'm being commissioned for, how do they want to be portrayed? When people see this image, what do they want to, how do they want people to perceive them from this image? All the time.
Yeah, we don't even ask the same questions because even in my branding shoots, like I've done a couple with more so realtors and influencers, and majority of the time they want to be approachable, which is why you have the smiling and the like very much so the what we call the target look. Or the Disney look, because all of those people, when you look at pictures from Disney, when you look at pictures from Target, it's all things that are like, oh my God, that looks so nice. Oh, she looks so sweet. And oh, I would purchase from her type of stuff. So it's about building trust with your audience. So I don't even ask, like, in a sense, I guess I do ask, how would you want to be perceived? But when a person is coming to me, especially for a branding shoot, I already know how they want to be perceived. It's just the message that you want to come across in the images.
Okay. I don't typically ask that. Not, you know what I mean. When it comes to anything brand related, especially coming from a brand strategist hat, I need to understand their brand story. And once I understand their brand story, I then take on full creativity when it comes to creative directing, what their shoot will look like. And I'll build that with them. And once I build that, it's like, okay, that's how we're going to do the shoot. So most of the time, even in branding, my branding shoots come across very storyteller-esque, very moody, very with the type of vibe for sure. And that's what makes us different between me being a documentary style editorial photographer, conceptual photographer, versus you being a commercialized photographer. Yes, like there's a certain sense of standard that you have to step with and approach with. Versus with me, I have more of an expansion to be creative when it comes to my approach. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not to say there's no creativity in it, but I'm also I'm a very like, I like it this way. You're like deviating from anything other than a plan. It's just like, why? Why are we doing this? Why do we have to pivot this way? So I guess I can go into basically how my shoot is going to set up, because I believe we're shooting my concept first and then yours, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So my concept is going to be centered around I believe a facial cream or facial product. So very much so skincare. And then we're probably going to do something with the bag, because that's just the clientele that I have, or that's the clientele that I want to market to the most. And I should say, for my people who are looking to connect with brands, like it's always good to get that type of imagery or video in your portfolio before you reach out to these brands. Figure out, make sure you know what you're doing and understand what you're doing before you do all of that. I come up with a mood board as well. She did mention that she come up with a mood board, but I think my mood board is definitely much more detailed than hers.
Screaming.
It is what it is. So like, and my mood boards I have, and I'm gonna go through a lot of them. So in my mood boards, I have the concept of like what I would want the makeup to look like, what I would want the hair possibly to look like. I'm not really big on hair per se. I kind of give that free range as long as it's not nothing crazy. Like I like a tamed look. Let's get straight to concept. As I mentioned before, we're definitely going to focus on like something that have a product. The model that I chose for my concept has a are we choosing? We have the same model.
Are we
for
using
both?
some color?
Possibly.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
We gotta let her know if that's the case. Because if you're doing product,
Yeah, I would really want my model to do it, but
okay.
She hasn't got to me
Okay.
about.
Because I'm pretty sure she only had nails done for you, right?
She only had nails done.
Okay.
You don't always get your nails done. I pretty have pretty good nails. We'll see. Let's see. So, I'm gonna be shooting a bag just because I have a bag that I just want to figure out a concept for. And then I also will be shooting some type of skincare because like that's my thing. I love beauty, because I feel like I said booty, beauty,
I ain't hear booty.
beauty, and skin.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach Miss Sheesh how to use this camera of mine. The weight is definitely going to be different because I'm going to let her use the 24 to 70 for this. Possibly the 70 to 200 if we're doing the skincare, just so you can get like real tight shots.
Okay, copy.
So we may go back and forth with that. And then afterwards, I'm most likely going to show her lighting setups for this scenario. And then we're going to go from there. We're shooting at night, which apparently she loves to do. So I'm not really a nighttime person.
I don't love to shoot at night,
Okay.
to be honest. But I think it would, because we're doing something so different, I'm like, why not push the envelope? I do love an outdoor shoot. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a natural light shoot.
That's loud.
Girls sound like the railroad upstairs.
I don't know if you guys heard that.
I wouldn't say I love shooting at night. I love shooting in natural lighting. Goes back into like the documentary, like, you know. However, with this particular shoot that I'm doing, considering it's like, you know, glam streetwear, I think street style photography is the most beautiful at night. Yes.
With flash or no flash?
We'll see. We'll see. See, we'll see. We'll see.
I like controlled elements. If you guys,
We'll see. Because there's going to be some shots that, you know, give a certain type of mood that we're not going to want a flashlight. But there's going to be some shots where it's like, no, this needs a flashlight. And that's where the storytelling comes into play. You're not fucking with that, but it's okay. You're going to have a good time.
Okay. Yay. Yay. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the next episode because I mean, not go to the next episode. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one out. Hopefully you guys got an understanding of both of our styles, and the concept behind this switcheroo. Also, I do need to add that we're also going to be shooting our own concept as well. So in addition to her being able to, us being able to switch gears, we're also going to show each other how to use the gear in real time. So it's like, I'm going to shoot first, show how I do it, and then just give her the reins. And then she's going to do the same thing with me. And of course, we're going to take you guys through the entire process.
It's going to be so interesting.
This is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because when I shoot, I even switch the stimulations on my camera mid-shoot.
The stimulation?
Yeah, so Fuji, well, my camera particularly, they have film stimulations. So the different stimulations change the color contrast, it changed the white balance, and I change those stimulations sometimes mid-shoot.
Girl, I do a lot of that in post.
I mean, I touch it in post, but yeah, mid-shoot is like, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be another section of this whole thing. It's our editing process, because that also is mad different. Like the finer details, getting all of the smallest of small micro shots. I mean, micro pimples and all of that stuff. And she's just like,
I ain't touching that. And I don't touch that. Well, like, I'm not doing, no, like, I respect, but all, like, hands down, like, bow down. I respect a good skin retouching. Like, that alone takes patience and skill. But I ain't doing that. That's not, don't call me for that. You could call just Stina for that, but not me. Me, like, when I shoot, it's typically, or in post, it's typically to focus on the elements of the composition to aid to the storytelling or to aid to the focus that I need the viewer to focus on. So in that, I'll pop color here and there. I'm big on color. I'm big on warmth, but my biggest thing in post is color.
okay. All right. So, of course, you already know I'm going to insert all of her work so you guys can see and understand what she's referring to. And of course, I'm going to do that around her as well. Yeah. So I don't have a hard no when it comes to like color grading, because that's what I call color grading. What I do is when I color grade in the sense of, is this going to help the shot or is it going to harm the shot? A lot of my work is very neutral. Some of it is warm just because I like stuff on the warmer end of things.
Same.
But it's like a very mild warm. Like you can barely pick up the warmth. And that's what you will notice in my work. Yes, I I will even out skin texture. I will even out skin tone, fix any minor things with hair, eyebrows, lashes, lips, whatever the case may be. I do all of that stuff. But like my final step usually is color grading in some sort of way. Either I am fixing the tones of the skin, and just bringing some type of mood. I'm enhancing it. That's the best way to put it. I'm enhancing the colors.
Okay.
I don't completely change up the mood of what I shot, because usually what I shot is what I really want. And to change up the mood is technically like just having a creative eye. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So again, thank you guys for watching. My name is Stina.
My name is Sheesh.
So on our next episode, you're going to be seeing us walk through the actual shooting process. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them below. Myself or Sheesh will get back to you on them, and we're going to try to be as detailed as possible. But yeah, I'm super excited for the series, and let's see how this goes. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Bye, guys.